They ain't at IPIC or Riverton, the new Rivertown or none of that. They way out Centerville somewhere, Manassas.
You talk her into going to see something you know your real folks don't want to see.
Right. Right. On a side note, I went to go see, so I celebrated Valentine's Day. Me and my wife, we went to go see the photographer last night.
The photograph.
Photograph. Was it the photograph or photograph? Okay.
The photograph.
Uh,
Photographer was taking pictures of the movie.
Right. My quick assessment of the movie is it was okay at best. It was just okay. I loved it for the fact that it showed black love and it wasn't no shoot. It was a movie with black people, wasn't no shooting, wasn't no nothing, wasn't no nothing crazy. But it just was, it was jive. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in the movie. When I tell you nothing, it wasn't nothing significant that happened. It wasn't like there was a big dramatic thing and they had to come back from it, or nothing happened in the movie. And keep it all the way funky, Issa's character, they made her like chase him. Well, I don't want to get too much of the movie.
No, go for it.
It was just weird. It was weird. You saw it?
I have not seen it.
No, I ain't gonna give it away. But
I have no desire to see it.
It was weird. I wanted to see it. It wasn't something that my lady made me do. Like, I really wanted to see it. I like both those characters. I like both those actors. You know what I'm saying? They do great. I love Insecure. I watch it heavy. And main man from a lot of stuff, Atlanta and all that. I think he dope too. So I really wanted to see it, but I was underwhelmed. Hell no. Hell no.
Love Jones is a classic African American film.
Stuff happened in Love Jones. A lot of stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? They got together. There was a dramatic breakup. And somebody messed with their friend and all kind of. It wasn't none of that.
I still say he shouldn't have took her back. Love Jones.
When she left, you mean when she left to go to New York
and
all that?
When she came back,
He kind of messed that up too, though, yeah. When he got caught with the side.
Would lit the little joint, walking down the street. They was both wrong. They was both wrong in their own specific ways, but this joint, it just wasn't. It wasn't that.
It sound like real life, bro.
But you know what? Like,
it sound like real life.
You know what happens sometimes when things go wrong in a new situation? You go back to what you know where that was comfortable.
True.
What's comfortable may not be what's best.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? When turmoil come up, you retreat to comfort.
And it's funny you said that because that's how people get stuck in side situations for years. Like nobody talks about that elephant in the room, but you know, some people double back to a certain female or male for like 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
In between who you main with and break up and then double back, then find another main, then break up, then double back.
So, all right. So, you know what? What you just said brought up something I think I want us to talk about, especially as men. So, let's say, you know, as men, we pretty much kind of try to stay out of people's business, we just don't do stuff like that. But let's say your man,
men don't do stuff like that.
Right.
Today's niggas, nigga?
Yeah, they be with the shits. They do. But let's say your man, your good boy, your homie or whatever, he married or whatever. Like, do you go to your man and be like, hey, Slim, why you doing all that with the other shorty? You know, you got your, like, is that going against the grain as man code or whatever? Pulling your man up saying, Slim, you shouldn't be cheating on her like that.
Funny you said that, and me and you had this conversation plenty of times, you know, off camera. We got to get back to checking niggas.
Each other.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we all boys, we all family, we got that tight-knit circle like that, I should be comfortable enough to tell you, Slim, like, if this is what you in, why you doing all that fuck shit? You know what I mean? But we don't do that, and the reason we don't do that is because we used to be cool with doing all that. Like, we used to be like, I got your back. You know, you can use me to lie to your folks while you doing what you're doing. We used to be on that side of the
Yeah,
fence.
don't do that. Don't
And,
do that.
You know, it got to the point where all the drama and dynamics that come with that, then now her folks don't want you hanging around you thinking that you a troublemaker or you this bad dude whole time. You covering for Slim.
Right. That's why I'm saying don't put me in that compromising position,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
Don't. I'm not lying for you. I'm not doing none of that. Nah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So holding each other accountable should be what happens in our circle.
Yeah.
But again, it's that do we retreat to that childhood loyalty? Well, that's my man. I'm gonna let he doing him. Or do we say, Slim, what you doing? Why get married? That's what you want to do.
Well, the thing is, it's still loyalty. It's just we should be in a mindset of always uplifting. You know what I mean? So, all us over 40 now, we did all that when we supposed to. Well, some
Most
of us
of us.
did all that when we supposed to.
Most of us.
You know, and that's really the bigger issue. Like you got some 40-plus-year-old men and women, they didn't experience all this when
That's
they
true.
was young. You know, you gotta remember
true.
when we was in our late teens, early 20s, there was people that wasn't getting certain attention other people was getting. So you didn't get to do all that life experience we talking about right now. You got some people now, they 40-something, they got their good job, they got their good house, they in shape, blah, blah, blah. Now they getting that attention they wasn't getting at 19 or 20.
They're living their second childhood,
So-
like Nas say.
You know, somebody like that, it's very difficult to check them because they not going to understand. They going to look at you like, I ain't never had this fun. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. Same thing with somebody that might have married young, been married for 20 years, then they get divorced. You let your whole 20s and 30s go by, you was in that. So now you come out of that, you look up. Yeah. You at Fast Eddie's every Friday.
It's wall to wall in that joint with them.
That's true too. That's true too. That's true too. Right. And some people like that, you kind of just gotta like not have them in your circle. You know,
I mean, but they're it now. With all that being said, I think there is some kind of threshold where we do, and we should be like, I ain't getting in that. Like, I ain't getting involved in that or whatever. So, kind of the key is realizing when whatever your man doing is extremely toxic and extremely destructive to him or his well-being, his family, his job, whatever. You know what I mean? And also the key is trying to figure out when you do need to pull him up and be like, Slim, what you doing ain't cool. Like, you need to chill out. Or when you do need to like, that's my man, I'm going to let him, he handle it, he got it. Like, you got to figure out where to draw that line. Because you don't want, nobody wants people always in their business, always, you're a grown man still, but, it is finding that balance of where, you letting people be themselves versus, letting them know when they doing some shit they ain't supposed to be doing. That's for real.
So it's like this, right? This is how I view it. We got to get back to morals and ethics. And then
Yeah, for
once
sure.
we get back to morals and ethics, then we got to get back to the second component of that, which is your structure. So once you got your structure intact and you discipline in that structure, you're not going to let nobody disrupt your peace. So how does that relate? What happens is you know what you stand for, what you don't stand for. So any new friend or friends, old or new, that you got in your circle, you let it be known, this is my structure.
Yeah.
You're not coming into this circle disrupting my peace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I tell this story all the time. My father chose his drug habit over me. And guys he got high with, man, they cut him off because he wasn't doing right by me and my mother. You see what I'm saying? Like, even in that element, they still have enough morals and ethics to focus on that structure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. We got to get back to morals, ethics, and structure. We became this society of anything goes and let people live. And the main reason we doing that is because we don't want nobody to check us on our shit.
Right. There it is.
Like, let's keep it 100. I'm not going to check you on you because I don't want you to check you on me. Right. When reality of it is, if we brothers, we should be able to check each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, there's no code amongst the brothers no more. It's like every man for himself. And, man, you do you, I'm going to do me, and we be all right. Like,
Well, the code is cover for me.
but
The code is what?
Cover for me.
The code.
Oh, okay.
That's the code. It don't matter what I'm doing. If I go rob a bank right now, tell my folks I was with you. That's the code. Cover for me.
Yeah,
And that's wrong.
right. Yeah, that's wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's absolutely wrong. Like, if you decide you love your woman, sooner or later you think about proposing, starting a family, woo, woo, woo. I'm over here single. I'm not on the phone with you like, hey, Ron, I got 3 joints. What, you trying to come through? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is what dudes do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or on the flip side, you might be like, hey, why you don't hit me for nothing no more? Because this is where you at. You don't need to be over here.
Right.
So you gotta get back to morals, ethics, and structure, man.
Right. Like, we don't value what our man. We don't value like the family sanctity. Like, there's certain things we don't value any longer.
Right.
Like what you're saying. Like, we don't value marriages. Like, you look at our family structure is crazy. Like, the majority of us actually are okay with having baby mothers and not being married. Like, we got away from a whole lot of those things, man. And we got to try to get back to that. Like, and then holding your friend responsible. Like, it's funny to me how nobody knows a deadbeat dad. Think about that. Like, everybody, nah, not my circle, not my circle. Nigga, you lying. Everybody got a couple buddies that don't take care of their kids, and y'all gonna call them out on it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if that was the case, there'd be more dudes out here telling they, man, young, take care of your kids, Slim. What are you doing? You know what I mean? But every time you look up, not my circle, not my circle. Nah, bro, part of your circle, you're not telling the truth.
Hey, Slim.
You know, and it bothers me that I think that as men, we don't hold each other accountable for certain things anymore.
Absolutely.
We got away from that, and we blame the women for everything. A lot of dudes blame women for a whole lot of stuff.
That's
bro.
true, too.
When let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. It's not our job to fix the women. Our job is to fix the men. As men, we shouldn't be complaining about them. We should be talking to each other, because I believe that if women saw better men, a lot of them deadbeat jokers wouldn't be getting no rap or no rhythm.
I agree to a certain extent.
Right, I know. We had this
I'm gonna
conversation.
tell you where the antithesis comes in at, and it's gonna sound in today's climate. What I'm about to say, somebody watching is gonna say this dude being sexist, because that's the way today's climate is. The reality of it is this: women have their place, and men have their place, and women won't allow men to have their place anymore.
Oh yeah,
That's the problem.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. I'm texting my son. He trying to go to a party. See, family. My son trying to go to a party tonight, and he giving me all the details, so I'm handling that. But what you just say?
Women won't allow men to be in their place anymore.
Oh, that's real.
If you really pay attention to what's going on
That's real.
in today's society, women are constantly infiltrating men's place.
Well, but you know what that is, right? Like, everything that a lot of us do as adults is learn behavior. So understand that a lot of times when women came from homes where the mother was the alpha in the household, there probably was no man in the house. So a lot of times the women, they ran everything. They had to do everything. So even when they get a man that may be an alpha, because they never seen it, they may not know how to respond to it.
Yeah.
Some women don't understand being in that, we call it the position of submission, and not submitted in a bad way, but just in that position of submission because they never seen it before. So they don't know what it looks like. So now we're going to bump heads over who's leading, right? Like you said, the man has this, he makes the decisions, he does this, he does that. And the woman, you support your husband, and y'all talk about things, y'all do things together, but there are roles.
Hey, I don't see it.
But we don't have any roles. The roles are not defined any longer.
Well,
problem.
okay, so that whole gender role thing, like,
When he was talking about man and woman having a place, I assume that's where he was going.
yeah. I think that nowadays that I do believe certain things between men and women are just black and white. It's just, if it's a man and a woman in a car, she ain't supposed to be getting out pumping gas. Stuff like that. Certain things is, if it's men in the house, no woman should be taking out the trash.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Certain things are black and white.
Right.
However, there are certain times where those lines are a little blurred when you're talking about like who provide money and resources into the house or whatever. Because a lot of those traditional gender roles that a lot of us like to abide by were established in a time when women couldn't work like they can now. They weren't established in the workforce like they are now. I mean, women getting it.
Right.
Especially black women, they really getting it out here. And more times than not, and these days, if you take a black woman and a black man, a lot of times she's going to be making more money than him. She'll be further along in her career or what have you. So in those type of situations, logically, the woman will probably pay for a lot more things than he can, if he can.
But does that mean that she takes the alpha role in the house?
No. But my point is, because that might be the structure for the time being, him, and society as a whole will feel like, oh, she called the shots. A lot of women feel like whoever put up the most money for the most expenses and bills, that dictates who calls the shots.
See,
and who wear the pants.
Now,
so to speak. Real talk.
I'm hip, but it don't.
Here's the problem I got with that. When you getting in a conversation like this, you letting society dictate how you run your household.
I agree too.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah. If my wife make $200,000 and I only make $80,000, we have a discussion of how we want to live. Regardless of who makes the most money, I'm still man of the house.
Yep.
I'm still head of household. Head of household, bro.
Check. Paul's mic went out. I think Paul's mic went out. Say something.
Yeah, went out.
Thank you.
What is red light on? What is red light on?
It means it should mean that it's on. But go ahead, they could probably hear you.
Head of household is not based on who makes the most money.
It shouldn't be.
And that's what society deems head of household. And that's not what it's based on.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I guess that was my point, is that not only society, but quite frankly, women feel that way.
Yeah.
Women feel like,
If I make
because it goes to the old thing, they always say, like, you always see messages like, if we split bills, whatever, then you my roommate. You ain't my husband. You ain't my man. You just my roommate.
Okay, so
if she make $200,000, there's a lot of women that feel like they wouldn't even entertain a dude that make less than her.
And they're gonna be some lonely women. See, this is why I wish we had some more women here for this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this. Oh, I ain't dating no dude if he don't make 150, or if he don't do this and he don't do that. I can't date him. And I'll be like, you know what? What you gonna find out? And I know a lot of my brothers ain't gonna like this statement, but this is some real talk. A lot of cats that make that kind of money, they not tripping off chasing you, shawty, because this women coming at them always a Sunday, right? The minute you don't do something he like, he gonna roll you out and get the next one. So what make you think he gonna catch him? But if you got you a good man that may work hard, gonna love you and take care of you and fulfill you in ways that money may not, you overlooking a whole lot of dudes for the wrong thing.
That's
No,
why
she ain't.
And you chasing something.
context is key, yo.
And you chasing something that ain't chasing you. And that's another problem too. And I'm gonna say this, fellas, and a lot of women they hate this too. The problem is a lot of them are chasing us and making it real easy. And they wonder why they can't get no nigga. You know why?
Yeah.
Cause you make yourself convenient to us. If you calling me and chasing me,
Which
Sean,
was, side note, a major part of the Photograph movie. Which is why I ain't like it. But go ahead.
I mean, but that's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As men, we're hunters, right? Let's get back to nature, right? We're hunters. We pursue what we want, right? If you see a woman and you want her, you gonna pursue her. You gonna take her out. You gonna go take her out on dates. You gonna follow up. You gonna be persistent because that's what you want. But if it's easy for you and it's convenient, she the 11 o'clock at night after you leave the bar. What you doing? You know what I mean? She the I ain't got no other date. You make yourself convenient for a dude, man. And then you wonder why you getting the short end of the stick. That's just what it is. It's what happens.
Yeah.
But women out here want to be dudes and be so aggressive and run things, shawty. And then they say dudes ain't nothing. Nah, just you chasing a nigga that don't want you.
That's why I always tell people, context is key. So, if you have a man that make 150, 200,000, whatever, and that's what you desire because you desire him to do certain things for you that require money and means, like that ain't nothing to him. Like, you're putting the worth of a man in
His wallet.
his wallet, yeah, and his income. But the things that speak to you on that, it's no sacrifice for him. Versus a dude, like you said, that's just working hard.
Yikes.
We have technical difficulties, y'all.
It's a little bit.
That's all it is.
They shooting.
But you should put more into, the things that a person does that, require some type of sacrifice, that effort,
Right.
sacrifice, effort, and that's meaningful versus, a person that's relatively wealthy that's just spending a drop of bucket money to them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And sidebar, ladies, we not saying that money ain't important because it's important for us. We agree with that. Like we're not saying that, right?
Yeah.
But what we're having a man that works hard and understands paying bills and is disciplined, that's important, right? You don't want to chase no deadbeat joker on your couch trying to sell his mixtapes. We're not telling you to do that. Like lead them. That's not.
But
good
and
look.
see that leads to a whole other topic that is struggle love. You hear that comment? You hear that topic? You hear that phrase a lot.
Yeah.
I ain't with the struggle love. Like I seen one of my friends while I've been in Facebook jail all this time. I seen one of my friends talk about. She was talking about some movies. She spoke about Love Jones, and she said that Love Jones, it was struggle love. Like was struggle love meaning that men always wanting women to lessen themselves down or struggle with them for the sake of love and da da da. And I just feel like women, what we're talking about, they have completely misconstrued that and turned it into this thing called struggle love. And that's nobody's saying you should struggle with nobody. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't necessarily choose struggle over anything else. But like you said, don't cut a nigga head off or don't even consider, the possibility with somebody because he don't make a certain amount of money. Or he can't monetarily do this or that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, like you said, we're not telling you to lower yourself for a joker that sit on the couch all day or playing video games all day, spending all this money on weed and nothing like that.
Some women will.
Go ahead, Pete. No.
Some women will lower themselves to that.
Can they still hear him even without the mic though? You might as well just keep on talking, man, instead of, at this point.
Get another one, yeah.
You got the whole handheld jump?
Yeah, I got one. I got another one. Some women will lower themselves to that type of dude for one reason and one reason only.
We know what that is.
Pipe?
No, not even that.
That too, whatever it is.
Yeah,
That along with whatever you about to say.
That ain't where I'm going with it.
Where you going?
They know where he at. No bullshit.
Yeah.
I've heard so many women say,
Well, I know he home.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
like you cool with Slim playing Madden
All day.
live on the internet till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning at 40-something years old. Because you know where he at. You know how much stuff he could be doing?
Right.
Productive shit.
Productive stuff.
Yeah.
But you cool with that.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, we need some ladies in this conversation.
But,
Yeah.
you know.
This is gonna sound like chauvinistic.
But you know. Now, cut it.
Yeah, it went on again.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That means we.
We need to hear from his sister. Go ahead.
That means we ain't crossed too many lines yet.
Oh, okay.
So we haven't crossed any lines
Do
yet.
you
Okay,
have any
cool.
any further or expounded thoughts you can give? No.
I don't want to participate. They're going to roast me.
Yeah, but nah, man. You know.
Like, prime example, like, you know, what we talking about? Side chick. Like, you know, no offense. You know, there's not too many men that's going to be opposed to having one in today's society. But the reality of it is,
Man, yeah.
should you really be doing it?
I mean,
You know
come
what
on,
I'm
man.
saying? Like, think about it. Think about it. It's so accepted in today's society that we joke about it.
Bruh, like, it's so accepted that dudes that are married have no problem with telling a girl straight up, yeah, I can go home to my wife, I'm happily married, but what's up with you?
You know
And,
why?
and it be so many of them that be with it.
Because women
That's
accept-
why. That's
They
why.
be with it.
That's why.
Women accept it.
That's
Right.
why. 'Cause
Right, they be
so
with
many
it.
women
That's my
and they
point.
accept it.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, I don't tell you what to do. I don't tell nobody what to do with their body parts.
Right.
You do what you want to do. But there's consequences to everything.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going to play that game, you can't get hurt. You can't be in your feelings. I've seen so many side chicks in their feelings
Man.
when you knew what it was when you got involved. So what you in your feelings for?
Yeah, but there is something to the fact that, you know, you married, whatever, you got a side chick, and you treat her better than you treat your wife. Or your lady.
Yeah, you know why?
So you can't expect a person to completely hold back, especially not a woman, to completely hold back their emotions and feelings, even though y'all had a conversation in the beginning, you knew what it was, and you know,
Now we all hear about that loud.
you make love, you taking her to the family cookout or to the cousins cookout. You ain't taking her to the family and all that. You know, you can't do all that and expect the person not to get feelings for you.
You know why? You know why they get treated better than the wife sometimes?
Why? Cause they better than the wife?
I can answer that. Because they shut up. Because they give that man some peace. Straight up. Straight up. Because that man can go to her and he can vent or he can just lay there and have peace.
You're on to something, brother.
She ain't, you know, like the wife gonna nag you or you feel like the wife is nagging you or you feel like the wife is on your nerves. That side piece gonna leave you alone. She'll let you have rest.
You're on to something.
You can come right to her house and lay down and chill out and nobody bothers you at all.
Like, as much as nobody wants to admit it, it's a reason there's a side piece. It's a reason the side piece exists.
Babe, I didn't say that. They said that. Just for the record, I wasn't the one that said that. Love you.
Comments made on this show does not apply. Say that right now. I will hold him accountable for every step of the way. I will bust him upside his head for you if need be.
But yeah.
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
a lot of guys got side piece for a reason, and that reason is their wife just on their nerves. And in some
See, and what you just touched on is a great point. We talked about communication, right? The key is you have to learn your mate and learn how they receive information. You can't talk to him any kind of way because that's how you used to talking to people. He may not receive it that way. You have some people that can take getting cursed out or getting cursed at. You have some people you have to coddle a little bit better. You have to learn how to manage your situation. If you want the best out of that person, you have to learn how to effectively communicate to get the best out of that person.
Therapy and counseling
you can't
works. That's all I'm
You
gonna say.
can't just go at them and yell because you upset and you angry, right? Like I can't just yell at my girl. She may cry. Like that may not be the best way to
Hell
communicate
yeah.
with her. Like I gotta understand. Okay, I gotta ease my way into this because she may not take it this well,
But on
right?
the flip side, she got to understand you at that point.
Exactly. And she got to know how to get the best out of you.
Right.
Like she can't, nigga, I need you to do this. No. Well, baby, I got an idea. Maybe why don't we try this? I thought about it. Like, know who you dealing with. Learn your spouse, or learn who you're dating. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's the 5 love languages are so important. Right. Because I can't love you the way I want to be loved. I have to love you the way you want to be loved to get the most out of you.
So I'm taking a little deeper.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
In order to do that, there's one thing that you have to do that most people in today's society will not do.
What's that?
Be selfless.
Ooh. Here we go.
I say that to people all the time.
Here we go.
Selflessness. Woo. That's a word there, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can't learn your woman's love language if you're too busy worrying about her learning yours.
You in the way.
Mm-hmm.
You in the way.
Because all she gonna do is start resenting you and then only worrying about you learning her. So now neither one of y'all learn each other.
It ain't about to.
And what ends up happening? Now you got a side chick.
Right.
And
Because
now you lying and telling her you out with me. I'm home asleep.
right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? You done put everybody in your bullshit. When
Yeah.
really all you have to do is check your ego, humble yourself, and learn your woman.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Checking your ego and humbling yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a word, man.
that's tough.
But
That's tough. That's tough.
most of today's society don't want to do that. Statistics have shown in this area alone, I think they say majority of married couples cheat in this area.
I mean, every area.
Well, I'm blowing it down to what I know. I know
Yeah.
50% of people in the DMV cheat.
You know what that is? I mean, like you said it about being we're selfish.
Yeah, extreme.
People
Well, I mean, we're in a
selfish.
selfish society, though.
What can I get out of this relationship? What can I get out of her?
Yeah.
What can I get out of him? How is this gonna benefit me?
And then when
Instead
I
of
get-
saying, what can I add to their life? How if I come into your life, how can I leave you better than I found you?
And then when I can't
How
get
can I
it,
help
I'm
you?
done with it.
But we don't. No. What can I get?
Our society isn't made up like that, though.
And it's man,
Honestly, our society and
it's crazy, bro.
you know
It's all-
what we see and what we're taught even subconsciously, it's not a selfless society. Everything is about self. Even how we consume goods and services is about. It's all about your fulfillment. You know what I mean? So, and you know, I don't mean to sound like a broken record or beat a drum, but that's what I'm saying, man. People need to go to professionals to find out the tools so that you can learn how to be selfless and love that person the way they want to be loved. Because most of us, we don't know how to do that shit. Most of us don't even come from 2-parent households.
Right.
So you ain't see it.
We ain't
You ain't
seen
see
it,
and
yeah.
even if you did
Yeah.
come from a 2-parent
Yeah.
household, it could have been very toxic and very whatever. Because our parents sure ain't go get help
Right.
and go talk to professionals and get the tools needed. So
Right.
it's the blind leading the blind
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
all the
that's-
way around.
Yeah.
Some of our parents hid stuff from us because they felt
All
we
that.
were kids and we didn't need to know.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
like, it could have been a lot of physical abuse in the house. You know,
Emotional abuse.
emotional,
all that.
You hiding it from the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. Like, sometimes it's a reason you had to go to bed 9:30 Central.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
It wasn't, you know, they sell it to us like you gotta get up to school.
Go to
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
we about to do us.
Yeah.
You got some
And that could mean anything.
Right.
So they could be
And that
cooking
could be-
coke in the background. We don't know.
Right, you know what I mean?
We don't know.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
You know, we weren't, a lot of things that we try to do as adults, we weren't taught.
Yeah.
Our parents didn't know.
Cause they ain't know. Yeah.
Like a lot of us only know how to function in dysfunction. Because like we've never seen a functional relationship. Like for myself, I know that I struggle with being affectionate. Like my mom, you know, my stepdad, he was a provider. He did everything. He made money. I never went without, but I never saw him like hold my mother's hand. I never saw him like hug my mother, give my mother a kiss. So those things I kind of lacked in a relationship. So like I'm learning now that a woman needs that. Like I walk by, I gotta hug her, hold her hand. Hey, babe, how you doing? Give her a kiss on the cheek. Because women thrive on that, right? But I never learned this. So now, as an adult, I'm learning it. So a lot of stuff that goes on in our relationships are results of what we saw or didn't
Absolutely.
see. Right? Like, you
Absolutely.
know, we didn't learn, like you said, we didn't learn certain things, man. So, like, there's some people that I've actually been in relationships that if wasn't nothing going on, it was a problem. Like, there would be chaos created
When there is no chaos.
when there's no reason for it because
when
they
there's
didn't
no
know how to
chaos.
function in normalcy. Right? Like, if everything's normal and quiet, something ain't
It's
right.
a problem.
Hey,
What's
bro.
going on? What are you doing? Why are you so quiet? Why are you being so nice? What?
Hey, bro, you'll be surprised at how many women feel dysfunction and chaos is love.
Yeah. Again, because it's their product
Do you
of their
understand?
environment.
Do you understand? Everything could be going great. Y'all could be getting along fine, you know, it's all getting a little sweet little texts. Hey, sugar, what you doing? How was your day? All that. Out of nowhere, you know, 2 weeks ago you said blah, blah, blah. And here we go.
You know what? Remember that day? Remember that day? Like you said, it's funny how I was just sitting there and I was thinking, it's funny how you be like, oh, here come the bullshit. Yeah, but I mean, you know, I don't know. That is a thing that happens or what have you, but you know, that's just the nuances of men and women or whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, it all boils down to like you were saying, you know, we all creatures of what we've learned and what we've been taught and what we've seen. And if you haven't seen that structure and that foundation of a solid relationship, when you become an adult, you're going to pass the torch. You're going to continue on with that toxic behavior, man. And you got to break the cycle.
So here's a question. We're breaking the cycle because you're absolutely right on that.
Yeah.
But here's a question. We got people that simply refuse to break the cycle. They simply set in their ways.
Can't save everybody.
And expect you to deal with it. Like, that's who I am, nigga. Like, what you want me to do?
Grow up.
Yeah.
That's how I am. That's how I am is the biggest cop out in the world for somebody that doesn't want to do any self-reflection, do any self-work.
I mean, that's how I am.
How I am. No, that's not how you are. That's how you choosing to be. Because you don't want to look at yourself and change yourself.
Some people know they self. They just don't want to change.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? You know what? Like I said, you can't save everybody.
'Cause
Just
like,
get away from them people.
This is one thing.
Immediately.
This is one thing I tell people. Always listen to the message. Because if you focus on the messenger, you're going to miss the message. The reason I tell people that
That's
is,
just irrelevant most of the time.
right, because 9 times out of 10,
I don't know about that, but
no, I'm going to tell you why. 9 times out of 10, if you truly think about it, the messenger is telling you something that they know they need to do for themselves, but they don't have it in them to do it.
yeah, but presentation also is everything. So, you know, like that old saying on the Cosby Show, he said, you know, if you cook up a real nice steak for me with butter and onions or whatever, and you serve it to me on the back of a garbage can lid, it's how you present it to me. It's a good steak. It's good for me. It's giving me all my whatever I need.
But that's what we talked about
But
earlier.
you putting on it. You putting on the back of a.
But that's what we
it's
talked about
how you
earlier.
presenting.
I
So
was talking about earlier.
the messenger is part of how it's being presented to you too.
But if you got a dude that you know has been your homie 30 plus years, he got a basketball team, about 7 or 8 women he put in the spin cycle, and he telling you need to stay loyal to your folks. You gonna listen to him, or you gonna say, how can you tell me?
Oh
this
yeah.
That's my point. You don't always focus on.
No, that's
the
true.
messenger.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Because a lot of times,
Because most niggas will be like, nigga, how you talking? You got
Right.
a basketball
Right.
team. You know what I mean?
like
Yeah.
like when we talk about learning, right? We got this programming that we got to learn from people that did it. We got to learn from people that's in the same situation we trying to be in or we trying to get to. That doesn't apply across the board.
Right.
Sometimes you can learn from the person that failed, because they're gonna
Absolutely.
teach you everything not to do.
Yeah.
But we don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
The first thing we do is,
How you gonna
nigga,
tell me
how
that?
you gonna tell
Yeah.
me and you know what I'm saying? You weren't
Ego.
about the messenger at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
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 So it all boils down to, again, man, we gotta get back to morals, ethics, and structure. And you gotta focus on what your structure is, establishing your concrete moral and ethical values. And anybody you bring into your circle from that point on, they can't disrupt that peace.
Yeah.
You gotta be cool with cutting people off. A lot of people not cool with cutting people off. A lot of people so caught up in likes, comments, and making friends, you don't want to cut nobody
We
off.
was just talking about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. We were.
Anybody that knows me, I'm a traditional alpha male. I am a asshole. Because I don't care.
Professional.
Because I don't.
Shout out to the peanut gallery. Shout out to the peanut gallery. Okay. All right.
Because my structure is gonna be my structure, and if I gotta cut you off to keep that structural piece, I don't give a. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not like, it's not any disrespect to the person. It's respect to myself.
Right.
And that's where we kind of lost in this whole thing that we
Agreed.
call relationships and situations.
Agreed.
So many people lost respect for themselves.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah. When you respect yourself, you're not going to allow certain energy or certain people in your space. You know, and you have to be okay. Like, I can love you, but not rock with you. Like,
From
because
afar.
because we're not going the same direction.
Correct.
From
And
afar.
So
I love you over
and
here.
a lot of times too, what people also do is like, you'll try to make a person fit a need that you have because you're lacking something. When and the whole time that person may not meant to be that in your life.
Correct.
You got to know how to put people in certain boxes. Okay,
Correct.
like, you know, how tall are you, Paul?
5'9".
5'9". Okay, I need somebody 6'3".
Right.
Right. I can't use you in the 6'3" role because you 5'9". Right.
Unless I get a ladder.
Right, but right. I can't make you be something that you're
That's
not.
the
Right.
asshole.
I can encourage you to be the best 5'9". Thank you. But I can encourage you to be the best 5'9" that you are.
That's correct.
But I can't make you be 6'3" because that's what I need. So I got to leave you in the 5'9" box and find somebody to fit that 6'3" box.
Right.
Right. We got to just be able to put people where they're positioned to be in our lives, and because we throw away some people that can be valuable,
Right.
but because they're not what we need in that particular moment.
Right.
Right? So we gotta just see people for what they really are and not for what we want them to be. Right? Like we view stuff through our own lens a lot of times, and we gotta be able to take that off.
And you
Like-
gotta be comfortable. Both parties gotta be comfortable. And what I mean by that is, okay, I can stir the pot now. What I mean by that is, women have to learn how to be comfortable with rejection. A lot of women aren't comfortable with rejection. So what happens is, tell you a funny story. So, like you said early in the conversation, men are the pursuers, men are the hunters, right?
We should be. That's not in the natural order. That's what it should be going
Right.
on.
So in that natural order, all right, we pursue a woman, right? Somewhere around that 90 to 120 day time frame, we realize she ain't it, right? So you got some men that's going to use her for what they can use her for, which is wrong, but it's what happens.
Absolutely.
But then you got other men, which are assholes like myself, and I'm going to tell you, you ain't it, and this is why you ain't it. So what has happened in my experience is, it becomes an argument and not accepting that these are the things about you that don't work for me, and we both need to be cool with that, because at the end of the day, we can still be friends. We
Yeah,
can still
but
have other types of.
you can't say that to her in
You
an
have
asshole way though. And you've already admitted
But
that
this-
you're an
but
asshole.
there's no other way.
So you can't say,
There's no other way.
Shorty, you can't after 90, 120 days, you can't be an asshole
we
to
ask the
somebody.
ladies for questions. Go ahead and shoot, y'all. Come on, shoot them.
I heard somebody saying, well, not
Well,
questions, but what do you
clear-
think about what he
Clearly,
said?
you said
What do you think
what
about
they
what
were
he said?
thinking.
Hold on, yeah.
Clearly, you said what they was thinking, because all of a sudden you got a standing ovation.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm saying I'm okay with what he said. In my mind, I just was saying to my friend, what are we arguing about? We was arguing. If you tell me that I'm not the particular woman for you, I'm okay with that. Let's thank you for not wasting my time.
Yeah,
But
I think
let's
the
be not
problem,
sure,
the
right?
problem that we have though is when you say you're not wasting my, thank you for not wasting my time, is continuing to like,
Waste my time.
waste my time.
All right, so we grown. Let's keep it 100. Right? I tell you, you're not wife material for me. But we can still do what we was doing.
No, we're not still doing what we was doing.
You're saying that, but in general conversation and experience, most women will continue to still do what you're
Can
doing.
I ask a question?
And that
Go ahead.
Hold on.
and that is where the confusion comes.
Most men never say you're not wife material,
Yeah, they do.
but we're not gonna.
Nah, most men
Yeah, they
don't.
do.
No,
Most men don't.
They do.
No, we don't. No, we
We
don't,
don't.
Paul. No, we don't.
We
No, we
don't.
don't. No, we don't. Stop that.
we don't say nothing. We don't say nothing. We don't say nothing.
If we beat chicks,
We don't say
we
nothing. We don't say nothing.
we beat
We
chicks,
just
ain't
we
saying
fall
nothing,
back.
bruh.
We fall back, but not enough that we not still getting that thing. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah.
We don't say nothing.
You ready for this?
Exactly. That WYD text.
Exactly.
You ready for this?
So can I ask a question, ladies?
Yes.
Why give him the cheeks if you're not sure that he won't even be with you like that to begin with?
So here's the thing. I will say for me, right? Like, men will present a certain way. I've gone out with men who have presented me the world, have given me flowers, have like wine and dined me, taken me several places,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then there's the ghosting, right? And then I start ghosting.
Yeah.
But then they start picking up the phone again.
Yeah, because they missed what they missed what they was getting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
We're talking about me.
No, that's what I was going with it.
Then we start to begin like okay.
You got a female asshole in the group.
Let it
Figure
rock.
out this dynamic.
Right.
Am I gonna start doing me, and you gonna start doing you, right? And then I have had some men that just was like, I don't want to date nobody else. I want to
Hey,
date
Tom.
you. But
Can you
then
ask her to give me
they
another
start
Benz?
ghosting again.
Please.
Then what do you do as a woman who was like, oh, I'm all into you, but now you doing your thing?
Want me to tell
Then
you?
we had an agreement.
Want me to tell you?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's real.
Want me to tell you? I can tell
And
you.
you know it's real.
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now.
I'm about to blow some men up.
No, please,
No,
please
sit-
do.
no. You
I'm
can
about to make some room right here for you.
blow all the men up that you want.
That's what we wanted.
You can have a seat right here if you need to. But
It's probably that John.
it's something that you said
It's that one.
that stood out to me. Some men are all about the chase. And once they get you, there's no more thrill for them. So the minute you fall back, now he can go back to chasing. His thrill is in the chase. So what you have to do if you want that dude is to carry the shit out of him and make him continue to chase you.
Or you find somebody that's mature.
Hello.
And it's
Is
not
that-
all about the chase.
So let me ask you that.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. Is that maturity or is that how the person is?
I think it's maturity. Because if your MO as a man is that you find a woman that you like,
Mhm.
but for you the thrill is the chase, not the actual woman that you like, and that it's always going to be that cat and mouse thing. Who has time for that? I personally don't.
Word.
I agree.
Word.
I would rather be
Right.
with somebody who sees me,
Mhm.
knows that they want me,
Mhm.
and we figure out that dynamic, and it's not that whole back and forth. It's not that whole mind game.
It's not the chase. Right.
It's not a chase.
Right.
Right,
It's like
You're going through the chase.
you went
Now
through
you
the
got
chase.
me.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, like, let's rock. Like, let's do this.
Let's build a relationship.
Oh.
As opposed to back and forth playing. Yeah.
All right, so
I agree 100%.
Right.
We're all at a certain.
High school. That stuff you do in high school. We're adults now, like she said.
Right.
The chase thing. No, been there, done that. We supposed to be at a point where either we're working towards marriage or we ain't.
Right, but what it all has to do with, and this is what we were discussing earlier. As black men, we're honest in admitting a lot of things we weren't taught because we didn't come from that.
and let's
A lot
be
of-
honest,
a lot of
us
us-
men is not that mature. Let's just put that out
But
there.
maturity
I appreciate that.
That's real.
maturity comes with experience.
That's real.
I mean, you can't be mature if you haven't experienced anything. So what happens is, like you said, you never saw your mom being courted.
Right.
You never saw the chivalry with your mom. You never saw your father or your stepfather saying, "You walking on the wrong side of the street. You need to be on this side." Or, "I pump the gas. You don't get out the car for that." Or better yet, the night before, "You need gas. Let me go take care of it."
Yeah, yeah,
We never saw this because the fact of the matter is, in our culture, most of us come from broken homes. So it becomes, y'all lose patience with us, and then we like, damn, what the fuck we do? When it all had to do with understanding each other, learning each other's love language, and trying to get to that point. Because some men really just don't know. Now, on the flip side, you got some men that know and they use it to their advantage. So they'll wine you, they'll dine you, they'll send you flowers, all that. Then when they get you,
Yeah. I was just getting ready to say that.
I won.
I was just getting ready to say that.
So-
One thing, I was going to say that. The one thing I've learned, and I think a lot of fellas don't kill me for this joint right here, right? But a lot of men were master manipulators, and the thing is, a lot of women give it up to men before they even know. On that first date, when y'all tell them about your ex-boyfriend,
Yeah, it's
everything
called
he did to you,
pimping.
right? Because by telling him what you've been through, or telling him what kind of man you like, he knows exactly what role to play, exactly how to play it to get what he wants. And then once he get what he wants, now the real him gonna show up, but you probably been caught up because you done.
Do men do that
you bought the
consciously?
fake one. No, it's subconscious, but it
Oh, okay.
happens because women walk us into it. Like,
I agree.
you want to learn a woman, the best thing to do is just ask open-ended questions, let her talk. Shut up and listen. She gonna tell you what you need to know
I've learned in my
most
life,
of the time.
in my life experience that happens on both sides of the fence.
Oh, absolutely, because we do the same thing,
Yeah, but women don't take advantage of it most times like we do.
right? Because
Most times.
because we're predators. though.
Most times.
No, we're predators, Paul.
Most times.
I have a question.
Men are traditionally predators.
We're predators,
We're gonna
yeah.
look at like real, like
Yeah, we're
human
predators.
nature because we are animals. Like
Yeah.
let's be clear, like we're the hierarchy of animals, right?
Right.
Like we are predators, and that is exactly what men are designed to do is to like pounce on the woman, like to hunt the woman.
There's
right?
there's a drastic switch in that in today's society.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, y'all missed that part of the
Yeah,
conversation.
we
I
talked about
agree
we had
to
that
a certain
conversation.
degree, but I also believe like, you in today's society, you also have a lot of immature women. And those women, to your point about being men who have not been raised to like respond to women in a mature way, women have also been raised to like, oh, forget men. We don't need y'all, we can do us. Right? Like, and I'm gonna like respond the same way men do. So I'm gonna have you and then I'm gonna have a dude on the side until I can decide which one I want now. Right? It's not that, but that's not traditionally how it was supposed to have been.
Right.
Traditionally, it was supposed to be the man who was supposed to conquer us and then, provide and support us. Right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
but
Yeah.
we have been taught, unfortunately, that we can't trust our man. And if we're going to speak from like a black man to, like if we're going to speak, for real, black men have like traditionally let us down. Like, well, we can't trust y'all to really support us in the way that we needed to be trusted.
Well, I just said why. One, we don't know how
Yeah.
it's supposed to be done. And then on the flip side, there's men that know how and use it to their advantage.
Agreed.
So I get it. It puts y'all in an awkward place of not wanting to invest the time and to figure out which one you're dealing with.
Right.
But
Just do me.
at the same time,
I mean, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm not.
That's a
I don't want to put it on me. I'm just saying, that's to your point. When you're talking about, I said, some women are very desperate. There are a lot of thirsty, desperate women out here. And so, to your point, when you were talking about, just tell them up front. If I was to tell them up front, you're not wife material, you're not what I want. But why do they they still stay or they still chase? Because they're desperate. Those are desperate women, but I don't think that's the average women.
Or, and I'm just telling you from my life experience, or a lot of women, again, can't handle rejection. So some women that can't handle rejection get this thing made up in their head where they're going to make you change your mind. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's one sentence,
That's real.
and I'm gonna say this one sentence, and this one sentence is very common, and you've all heard it before, whether it was said to you or said to one of your friends. But you've all heard this sentence come out of a man's mouth before. I'm not looking for anything serious right now. You've all heard men say that.
I only heard that from one man.
You've heard it.
You heard it.
You heard it.
You heard it,
So
though,
you just proved my point. You've heard it. Whether it was 1 or it was 10, you still heard it. So
I've said it a million times.
Oh yeah.
what typically
That was a go-to,
happens,
bro. That was a go-to.
what typically happens is when a man hits a woman with that line, there's going to be that one woman that's going to be determined off the break to make him change his mind.
So now
But that's with her chase.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I would say for me, and then you can speak to this, Lisa, is that I have never heard a man really say that, but I've heard a man.
You just said you heard one man say it.
One out of the
Then you've heard it.
out of the many. So that's
Then
What,
you've
go
heard
ahead.
it.
What you normally?
So what I've normally
Don't listen to him.
heard,
This is what they do. It's okay.
what I've normally heard is men want to pursue, they want to hang out, they want to date, they want to do all of those things, and then they realize that they can't meet my level and expectations.
Oh, really?
Really? You wanna go there? And then they start to like distance
Yeah,
themselves.
now-
But
now-
they never said, I want to,
That's
like
no.
what he said.
Wait,
I've
wait,
never
wait,
heard
wait,
that
wait.
except with one person.
All right, so
So,
that kind of speaks to
Even
what
with the one person, that really doesn't make sense to me.
that kind of speaks to what we were talking about earlier when we was talking about men, money, and monetary stuff. Like, what do you mean by expectations and
What were
like,
your
yeah,
expectations that
generally speaking, what would be some of your expectations that you found
That's
men
a good
sometimes would?
That's
At.
a good question. I've been told that I am too accomplished. That
Oh my God.
yes, I actually have been told that.
This is good. This is good.
That
Yes,
I
this is
am,
great.
This is
This
good.
is great.
I'm gonna use the word materialistic, but that's not it. That I
This,
am
cause now I can really go where I want
high
to go.
maintenance.
I can go where I want to
And
go
that
with this.
I am not. I am the chick that would love a gift if you give me some crazy socks. I love those things, right? Like I love the little things. I have been told that they just can't afford my lifestyle, which is ridiculous. And I'm telling you this, I've been on dates where, several dates where men have said those types of things. And I'm at the point now where I'm just not dating
Can
because
Can I tell you something? You
Let me-
don't
I
get
got a
offended?
follow up for
yeah, I'd
her.
rather hear from you.
So I'm not
And,
trying.
and if any of the ladies want to join in, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
nice.
I don't want to hear from him.
If so, is there any merit to if men have tell you that there's some type of legitimacy behind even a little bit?
I think it's perception. Here's
Can
the
I
thing.
can I tell you
Bruh.
something? Can I tell you
No,
something?
I don't think it's me. Here's the thing. I actually do love nice things, right? Like, and I'm going to speak to Paul what he was saying.
Who
before.
doesn't? What
Like,
woman
but
doesn't?
Paul and I had a conversation about clothing, right? Like men, women love, like, we love looking good. But we don't necessarily like, I don't have to have a Chanel top and a Versace bottom to look good. I do like nice jeans because it fits my body type, but it is that. So I'm going to spend the extra money for that. But I will spend extra money on a purse. Everybody knows that. I will spend extra money on a pair of shoes. That's going to make me feel comfortable, right? And so when men, and even my child's father, love him to death, that is exactly what he said to me. He said that I was high maintenance, and I don't know how to take care of all of the nice things that I have.
Can I tell you something
No.
without you getting
Hold
mad?
up. You don't know how to take care of nice things you have? That confuses me.
Can I tell-
Time out.
Can I tell-
Time out.
Can I tell you something without you getting offended?
He told you that you don't know how to take care of the things that you have, that you bought.
Can I tell you something?
No.
And you
Fellas,
promise
I'm
not to get
confused, y'all.
offended.
No, seriously, y'all.
Right.
I need your help with this, fellas. Help me understand.
I'm trying to. I'm
What
asking
secure
her if
man
she
says
want me to
that?
tell it to her.
I don't want you to go.
I'm asking her if she
What
want me to tell
secure
it to her.
man says that? She bought it. She's taking care of it.
You-
She's not
you-
asking me to buy it.
you
What
attract-
are we talking
Hey,
about?
hey,
Well,
ma'am,
I think you answered your own.
ma'am,
You said what secure means.
thank you, thank you. You attract insecure men.
That's a good one. I would accept that.
No secure man is going to say anything like that. No secure man is going to fix their mouth to even say anything like that. Ooh. Ooh. No. Matter of fact, bring y'all asses over here and get involved, goddamn.
Slap my food down here and we good to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I mean,
go ahead, Paul.
no. You're absolutely right. The fact of the matter is, a man that's secure in himself is not going to say anything like that. Like, I have a lot of strictly platonic female friends. I tell them all the time, men hide their insecurity in control. So when a guy says something to you like you don't know how to maintain your shit that you bought for yourself,
Because he's not controlling it.
he's insecure. He's trying to control you to pacify that insecurity.
Yeah. That's
Like,
good,
it's a
Paul.
different situation when if he says to you, you may need to clean your car, versus just straight out, you don't know how to take care of your own stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes the message is in the delivery. I had a female friend that was telling me literally the other day, she's single because men are intimidated by her. And I said to her, I said, nothing about you is intimidating. I said, nothing about you is intimidating. Where are you getting this from? So,
Clowns.
huh?
Say it again.
Right, I'm secure.
I'm sitting here.
Right.
I never
Like-
met this woman before. I'm sitting. Do you work with
No,
with
but it's funny because,
Michelle
but
Obama or
it's
somebody?
funny because she said the same thing you said. She's accomplished. She sells real estate. She's written 2 books. She's accomplished. So I told her the same thing I just told you. You attract insecure men.
Bruh, a lot of these jokers don't like a woman that's accomplished because they feel like they can't live up to a level because they're not happy with where
But
they are
a man would
themselves.
step his fucking game
Right,
up.
and Paul, that's exactly what I was going to say.
That's the bottom line.
Men
That's the
welcome
bottom
that.
line.
You know what I mean?
Step your game up.
She's doing good. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, let me add to this. What can I bring to her life?
All right,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Let me. I'm devil's advocate all day, so I'm about to.
She got
I'm
all the
about to-
material. She got all the material things. What can I give her that she's missing?
Yes. Or
You know what I mean? As a man, what is she missing out of her life? Because she don't need my money.
But didn't earlier?
Right? See, but men,
I just
men,
want him.
right? See, but some men, because what happens to a lot of guys is because
Oh, boom, boom. Earlier, wasn't earlier? Earlier, we all agreed.
but she may not have to. She may not. She may
saying.
not have to, because what happens a lot of times is because guys are so used to hearing women say, "It's
Thank
about my
you.
wallet."
Thank
a lot
you.
Of men are only
Thank
work-
you. Let's
a
talk
lot-
about where
a
that
lot of-
insecurity
a
breeds.
lot of men have insecurities about where they are financially because
Right.
women say, "I won't date
Exactly.
you because you don't have so and so and so and so."
Exactly. So
Right? So-
you can't just paint men with this insecure brush like it comes out of nowhere. Like niggas just walk around here, they weak hearted and they weak minded. No, a lot of that comes from the very thing we was talking about earlier,
Right.
where there's a large sector of women and society in general that equates a man's wealth to how much money he made.
No, a lot of these niggas.
No, they create his wealth to
That
his
too.
worth.
That too.
They create his wealth to his worth. What's he worth as a man is based upon what he brings home.
Well, that's
to
what I'm
the
saying.
table. Right.
To ask herself is what is it? Because you obviously attracting the same guy every time. So what are you doing? What's the one thing that you have? Obviously, there's something you doing that's attracting the same type of guy.
Which is what I was getting at.
Yeah. So it's obviously
Earlier,
some
trying
type
to.
of image that you're giving off that you need to attract this same type of guy. And I guarantee you, if you get rid of that one thing, you will see a different type of man come at you.
Or
pay attention to.
I gotta go back to New York. To the Valley,
But
pay
is it
attention
already?
to.
Because the reason why I say that
But see,
is
wait, stop. She said DC Negroes suck. Okay, so why is that? Why is DC Negroes suck compared to a New York dude?
because you already got that image in
I
your
have
head.
found that like a lot of DC, like I'm gonna say families, but like a lot of DC, a lot of DC, and I don't want to be the only one talking.
No, go ahead.
You want to go there?
And
A lot of DC people, men that I've dated, to you guys' point, really feel like I am. Clearly, it's evident right now. I am too opinionated.
But why? Why do you have to
wait.
slow down?
No, but I'm too opinionated. I am accomplished in certain areas in the sense that, you know, like, I will never stop at what it is that I'm doing. I'm always going to figure out a next step. I bought my first house when I was 25, and most people don't, like, as a single mother with a child. And that was another issue, right? Like, and then I got my next house when I was 30-something years old.
But look,
and I did that by
look what you're saying. Wait. I got it.
I know you're.
Look what you're saying. At 25, I got this. At 30, I got this. You built a lot between 25 30, but it was I got this, I got this, I got this. A man is bred to be what?
So a provider.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he's a
And
provider. So it goes back to what he's saying. Okay, I can't provide this, I can't provide that. What is it that you're giving off now that says, okay, nigga, I don't need you, so I don't need you,
And
I don't need you.
And that's the point I was getting at earlier.
You're not saying that. You're not saying that.
I can't speak to all the women here, but I can speak about me. And these people know, like, the things that I've gone through. When I'm with a man, I am very submissive.
Why are they so quiet?
Hold on, I'm very submissive.
Okay.
To the point where, because he always like talk, to the point where, like, I'm going to allow them to be the men that they're supposed to be.
How are you doing that? What does that mean?
I just allow them.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? What does that mean, him being the
Depends
man?
on what you're asking. Tell me, give me a situation.
Okay,
where
so
I am.
you said that allows him to be the man. So if I say, let's go to church, and you don't want to go to this church,
Laugh right here. Look at this one.
is that you submitting him?
I'm going to go to the church that my man wants to go to.
Why?
And let me say this.
I'm a visit.
I'm a visit. When we get married, if my husband says that we need to go to this church, I'm going to go to the church that my husband goes to.
Okay.
My only ask is that at some point, can we visit the same church that I was there for?
Okay, so how is that still you allowing him to be a man? So if you're allowing him to be a man, that means that if you're saying that you're being submissive to him, you're not married to him, so you really don't owe him nothing.
I don't.
Okay, you don't owe him nothing until you're married at that point. So if you're submitting yourself to him or under him as a woman, why is it that from what I'm hearing, I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, every guy that you've come across feels the same way. So what is the common denominator?
I'm not going to say every guy. I'm going to say a lot of guys. Like,
5 out of 7.
the common denominator is
You.
I would say me, and most of it is I don't like them. But
This is what I was getting. This is kind of what I was getting at. This is what I was kind of getting at. And I'm not saying this to judge you or anything at all, honestly. But and two, I wish more you guys would get him. I don't want to feel like we jumping on jumping on you.
We are, because she the only woman talking.
Yeah, but I'm not even gonna say you. I'm gonna say women in general. I'm gonna say women in general. When women, it seems like a lot of times when they are accomplished and they have gone through things and they have, have established themselves out here in society or whatever, it's like they come out the gate that's what they wear on their sleeve. Like, I got this, I did this, I did that, I did that.
Now,
What you do? What you got? Like, I did this, I did this, I got this, I got that. Nigga, what you got?
It was unintentional.
And they add into the fact of you feeling like DC area niggas is so hard. So you bringing that energy, all that energy into your new situation.
I want to try them though, but I ain't mad.
Can I be the devil's advocate?
Go ahead.
Because
She got something to say too.
that don't bother me. I'm like, a woman that do
Yeah,
that,
that's why I'm quiet.
a woman that do that, it's like, okay, that's tough exterior. There's something deeper under there. I'm gonna let all that come out.
But that's you.
I'm gonna be cool with all that.
That's you.
That's
why I'm
great.
quiet.
Now let's really talk.
What type of
Now let's get to know you.
dudes?
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Are
like,
these the type of
well,
dudes that-
right? Well, because a lot of cats don't want to go that deep. A lot of cats are surface.
Right.
Right. So a lot of guys only see a woman and see surface.
Right.
Right. But when you hear and let her talk, you'll understand that there may be some pain, there may be some hurt there.
She got a lot
There's a
to
reason
unpack.
why she's leading with that,
But
right?
it- but-
there are layers.
but even-
and if I'm interested in her, I'm gonna get
Man,
the
most
layers.
people ain't trying to go through all that around.
I mean, yeah, but
That's just real. And that's just real. Most people not trying to peel back layers.
right off the break. You know why? Because most niggas trying to get draws right off the break.
Wrong.
If I went
Well,
with
not even that. Not even necessarily that.
right?
Wrong.
Yeah.
We not into counseling, bro.
I ain't talking about I'm being real. This is me. I've always been like this,
But
Joe.
what I'm saying with being real is let's be real.
Yeah.
Being real is the surface, and that's cool. The problem is, again, it all boils back to insecurity. If that's what she accomplished at 25, whatever age, then a secure man is going to look at her and say, I got to step my game up if I want this woman.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Okay. Period. It's no if, ands, or but. It's
Right.
nothing else about that.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it got to do with insecurity.
Depending on how she presents herself.
It don't matter.
Oh, it matters.
It does not.
Hey, you're gonna sit here and say it don't matter how a person
You know why it
presents
don't matter?
themselves
You know why it
to
don't matter? You know why it don't matter? Because of what he said in the beginning of the conversation. By nature, we are the hunters. So if that's the motherfucker I'm hunting, that's what I gotta do.
Right, but if the motherfucker you
Period.
wanna,
I'ma
but
figure
if the
it out.
motherfucker you
Period.
wanna hunt make you mash your face up and be like, what's she on? You gonna go to the next
Why
one.
you in your feelings about that?
It's not, it's not, it's not, it's not about feelings. It's not about feelings, but
It is. Because
If I'm hunting,
it's not about feelings. It's just that, oh yeah, that ain't my cup of tea, so I'm gonna move on.
I'm gonna go to the easier.
But with
I'm
that,
sorry, go ahead.
I do have a question. So when a woman, not saying necessarily leads, but when you realize that she is accomplished, because not to brag, but black women, if you look at nationally, are the most accomplished.
I just said that when you said
But
it a year ago.
pause right there. Do they say, and what do you have to bring, or do you feel internally, damn, what do I have to bring?
some do actually
What-
say it.
Some do.
It's not, and it's not so much they say that, but that is how they present themselves. And earlier, I think you guys might have missed it, where I was saying, talking about the importance of, or maybe you already y'all said, of how you present certain things. So, you know, like he was saying that it shouldn't matter, you know, if that's who you want, whatever. But if a person is presenting themselves in a way that is unbecoming to you, you're not going to, like he was
Put in the
saying,
work.
put in the work, peel back the layers, whatever. You want to be like, nah, sorry. Even if you're a man that you're accomplished, maybe you're more accomplished than her. But if he or she is presenting themselves with, yeah, this is what I've done, now what you got? You might not want to deal with that. It don't mean you're insecure.
Doesn't present herself that way.
How
And
do
she
you want
just
her to
comes
It just
in.
exudes
What
comfort.
is that?
And then those are the men that are insecure. But we can't paint men who with a broad insecure brush just because they're not willing to go through that with that person that presented themselves that
We
way.
only
But I do realize that insecurity's loud, right? Insecurity's loud. So people that brag about what they got, their insecurity's there. You see people that all they want to talk about is their things, that's insecurity. They don't have something in, they're lacking something in here. That's why they got all this stuff around.
Is it?
Absolutely it is.
I disagree.
If you brag about what you got, that's insecurity, bro. To me it is.
No, it's good.
If I first meet you and I throw my bed skin on the table and yeah, baby, you know, I just came back from so-and-so, and me and my man about to go do this, and then he call my lawyer. You know what I mean? He tell you what he got is off the break. That's security.
But okay, so are the women that present themselves with I got this, I've accomplished this, are they insecure?
That's our first conversation, yeah.
But a lot of
Well, that's kind of what I was.
it's a
It's energy. It's energy. It's not necessarily what you're saying. It's energy.
Hey, let me
And that's what
That's what that is.
yeah, let me take this online for a minute. This dude,
We've been ignoring the people online.
Yeah,
We've been ignoring them online.
ain't fitting to argue.
JoJo getting busy.
Ain't fitting
What's
to
up,
argue.
Joe?
Ain't finna argue with you said, oh, it's our fault, huh? Men don't contribute. Men don't contribute to women's insecurities, though. We're not talking about women's insecurity. We're talking about men's insecurity. I don't get it. But you can't tell this set of dudes that this somebody that must know us or something.
That's Joe. Is it Joni Evans? That's Joe.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know who Ain't Finna is. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Ain't Finna, who is you? Because I feel like you know who we are.
You hiding behind the keyboard.
Look, damn, we got a picture up of there.
Come out and play, nigga. Nah, but all jokes aside, like, this one thing as men we have to understand and accept. When we see the woman we want, we fight through all of that.
Nah, man.
You do.
Hey, Boots.
He fights through all of that, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
He didn't already
Thank
When you see the woman
He
you
fought
want,
through
you fight
But
through
he
all of
said,
that.
no, man. Because you see a different man when they find the woman.
Right.
That's
You fight through
Yeah,
it.
but the one might not be the one you got to fight through a bunch of stuff right out the gate.
Nah, there's always a fight, bro. There's always a fight.
So-
There's always a fight.
Out the break.
I'm gonna put it you like this. Donnell can vouch for this. My mentality has always been, I gotta get it. And that was taught to me as a little kid. I'm 5 or 6 years old. The OGs in my neighborhood, you want some money, little nigga, go to the gas station, pump gas, get some money. Go down to the Giant on O Street, take people groceries to the car, get some money. So that's always been my mentality. So when I hear stuff like that, that doesn't do nothing to me. All it tells me is, all right, I gotta step my game up. If me and Sean, that's it.
But that's you.
That's it.
But that's you.
Yeah.
But because
that's
that's
insecurity.
but because that's how you know. But because that's what you're willing to do, don't mean that next man that ain't is insecure.
Joe's out here giving us a bad rep,
This is what I'm saying.
That don't mean that the nigga's insecure.
It does, and I'm gonna tell you
Well,
why.
I ain't got time. Just like a woman ain't got time for certain stuff,
What
men ain't got time for certain
what
stuff.
are the 3 P's that you supposed to do? As a man, what's your 3 P's?
Protect, provide, and
Profess.
okay.
How the fuck you gonna provide if your excuse is she got shit and I can't step up?
Because I'm gonna provide for the woman that presented herself the way I want her to be.
That's insecure.
That's not insecure.
That's not
No, I didn't say that either. I didn't say that either. How am I controlling? What am I controlling?
You want me to tell you what you're controlling? This is what you're controlling. What you're controlling is, this is where I am, I'm comfortable here, I have no desire to go here.
I didn't say that.
That's
I didn't
what
say
you're
none of that.
saying.
No, I'm not.
Yes!
We have got to get out of. Go by what I said. Don't take what I said and infer your own meaning. Oh, well, then you must mean this.
All right, what you
you
saying?
must. All I said was, you take a man and a woman. If a woman or man presents themselves to the opposite sex person in a manner that they don't like, that don't jive with them, that's not comfortable to them, and they decide, nah, that's not really my thing. That does not mean that they insecure. Just if a woman presented herself with, oh, I got this, I got that, nigga, what you got? And we all agree that that's what I said. And we all agree that there are people that present themselves that way. If a man, but that's all I've been talking about.
But you're changing the narrative.
That's all I've been talking about. I've been saying the same thing the whole time, have I not?
But that's not the narrative.
But that's not what she was saying.
I didn't say her. I'm not talking about her.
He didn't say her.
I didn't talk about her. The conversation moved to not her. I said, I'm not judging you. Let me say just a woman. And we talked about what can make a man insecure. What can make a man feel some type of way about a woman's accomplishments. I said that a man could possibly feel some type of way if a woman presents herself with, I did this, I did that, I did that. Now what you got? What you coming to the table with? And so if a woman presents herself like that, there are a lot of men that would be like,
I don't think anybody.
Nah. And it don't mean he insecure.
But can I say this?
Yeah.
And it also don't mean that he don't strive for more. It also don't mean that he don't want her to have nothing. And it damn sure don't mean he trying to control her.
But I don't think women, and speaking specifically of me, goes out into the, like the dating world saying all of these different things.
Oh, they do.
I don't. What I'm saying,
We all agree that they all do.
But I don't. But what I'm saying, like what he said was like the way that I shared the information, and I think maybe I need to clarify. I never said to these men, "This is what I got at this age." They took a survey.
That's what I'm saying. They
took a
They
survey.
made their own assumptions.
Exactly, and it's not that I was like, "Oh,
And that's
can
why
you
I
meet
said
this
it's
criteria?" Right? I never said that to these.
Well, absolutely.
And
Now,
I'm not. I don't believe.
absolutely.
And that's
I'm not
why
giving.
good.
If you are giving off that energy of I got this, I got that, I got that,
No.
but men just learn these things because they're getting to know you in conversation,
Right, absolutely.
and it makes them think, they a sucker.
Right.
Yeah, straight up.
It's just like when I
But
say
that's
I'm
not
married.
what I was talking about. That's not what I said.
Therapist.
Usually got this. No, I wasn't. Y'all was with me, right? Y'all was with the flow of the conversation, right? Okay, all right.
Oh, she's trying to shrink me. I ain't talking about that. She's trying to shrink me.
So the three of us are therapists. She's a reading specialist and a highly educated, like she's an educator, right? The first thing people say to me is, "Oh, I'm not trying to. I'm on your couch.
I'm not
just
trying to be
become a
rude.
therapist for everybody."
No, you are very accomplished and you are obviously very intelligent. The way you come off right now is what he was speaking of highly, like saying, I got this, and that's not what you're doing.
That's how the conversation
Yeah,
moves.
that's not what you're doing. We know that's not what you're doing because it's unintentional. You were trying to make a point, but you're not dating them out in here that you're trying to impress. Unfortunately, everyone here would take that as I'm trying to impress. That's not just men, but women do too. But I'm not saying.
Only
but
insecure.
they do.
I'm not dating.
I'm just saying, but
See, look,
you're explaining how wonderful the things you are. He's right. Us sucker will look at that and say,
Let me explain.
but on the flip side, a man would do the same for a woman. Because if she's all about if he's all about what she's doing, you are going to take a step back. Unfortunately, in the real world, it can be intimidating. I'm not saying it is, but it can be.
Let me explain.
I've heard that.
It can be.
Let me explain
Like if you
something.
play football and all this, Kobe Bryant, forgive me, rest in peace, is a perfect example. If he would have went and played every game like, I'm not good, I might not be good enough, he would have never accomplished himself. So does he have the right to say that? Of course. Does it rub people the wrong way? Of course.
Yeah, but I'm not going to not play against him when I challenge him.
See, you're different.
Because I'm secure. That's my point.
Right, you're secure.
So I can't buy into this mentality. Let me tell you something. Here's a problem. And I'm just going to put this out here. As, I don't like to say it, as African Americans,
There you go.
we have this subconscious notion that the struggle is where we're supposed to be.
Ooh.
So the minute somebody is talking about their accomplishments, we got a problem with that.
Yeah, we put
I don't have a problem with that. I'm going to continue to applaud her, and I'm going to step my game up to meet her if that's who I'm pursuing. Now, if that's who I'm not pursuing, I'm still not going to bash her. I'm going to applaud her. I just ain't where she at.
But how many people can honestly say that without feeling?
Why do you have a problem?
But see, this is the thing. Everybody can honestly say that if they secure in themselves.
I don't think she ever
But
said
most
she had a problem with a man not being.
Most of us aren't secure in
She
ourselves.
never said that.
No, I agree.
That's perception.
They automatically think that you have more.
Exactly.
You know, I'm just articulate. I pay attention and I
I'm sorry, you pronounce every syllable.
Exactly. Prime example. She speaks with intellect.
Yeah, and that's
so insecure. So guess what an insecure nigga
Oh,
will
she's
do?
speaking white. She don't know.
She's speaking white. Come on, man.
You must not be from here.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been told that.
I've been told I'm from New York. I'm like, no.
Let me tell you, you are 100% right. He is 100% right. We all have our businesses where we have to do that. Now, and this is not an accomplishment. I'm a chef. And it's funny that when the food comes out and it's great, they automatically, go back to what you said, automatically assume, is it so like that? They automatically assume. Right. So then when it comes out and they say, oh, this is delicious, and then they see it's me,
Or
it's that perception that, oh.
a good weather from where I'm from. It's an abuela.
But it's like, oh.
Sorry.
You did?
Right. And that goes back to what you said. They automatically got this out the cosmic. Yes, you know, and for some reason I don't understand this. So what is your background? So then when you tell them,
Yeah.
That's borderline racist, dog.
It is, but it's going back to your point. Like he said, we've been, as a society, been put here, but the image was that I had to do that to work just as hard to be an average guy.
Right.
So like he said, now I've already, in his word, he did it with insecurity. He's already put down without even in the race.
Agreed.
He's already down. Why? Because he's secure. And that's an unusual trait that a lot of people aren't used to seeing. So now it's considered bragging. It's considered boasting. It's considered, arrogant. Yes. But what is arrogance? It's not, the only thing is, arrogance is confidence to people who don't have it.
Right. P, I was going to ask you about that since we just went there. What is the problem with African Americans being able to talk about their success or their influence? Why is it a problem amongst us? Why is it a taboo conversation? I didn't say you said it. I'm just saying in general, in consensus, if we're sitting around a bunch of our friends, right, and like one guy, like he owns a boat, or he's doing well, you know, and he talks about, oh yeah, I got to take care of this, well, like, why is it a problem? Oh, he think he like that. Why do we do that to each other? Like, why do we not say, you know what, he's successful. Let me talk to him and figure out what he's doing so I can try to get to the same level. Why do we not look at success like that?
Because subconsciously, through history of our existence on American soil, we are programmed to believe the struggle is where we are supposed to stay.
Yeah.
We are not supposed to come out of the struggle.
We're not supposed to have it.
What is the most famous thing we say on a daily basis? The struggle is real. No, it's fucking not. The struggle is
You're choosing it. That's real. You're choosing it.
The struggle is an obstacle, and you're choosing to not overcome that obstacle.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
But can I say
So
something?
what ends up happening is those of us that choose to overcome the obstacle, now it's you think you better than me.
Yeah. But hold tight.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't we all know some Bama ass niggas that do some hot Bama shit?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when a lot of times when people complain about people bragging,
But I ain't talking about Bama. I'm talking about like us.
but what do you draw that? Us who? What do you draw that? What do you draw that line at? But where do you draw that line between?
You know about
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to honestly. Listen to what I'm saying. You just said, you asked the question, why is it a problem for people of color to talk about the things they have in their accomplishments? My point is that there's a line between us being able to come together and productively talk about what we've done, our accomplishments, what we have, whatever, and everything be on the up and up like it should be.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line between that and a Bama ass nigga that we all know that do hot shit, that go extra and throw money in the air, or, you know.
That's called a Bama, Kyle.
But listen, right? So what's the? You're not hearing me.
No,
I think the difference is we don't do it.
We're not talking about him.
Right.
But what's the difference? But a lot of people.
That man was doing the
But a lot of people complain when people complain a lot of time about people bragging. They're talking about that person.
That dude that you're talking about has no desire to help
anybody else.
Yeah.
We're not talking about people trying to help people.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Because if you're talking about getting out of the struggle, if I'm out of it, goddamn it, that's my job to pull y'all out of it too. So we are talking about that.
I mean,
we didn't say
The dude that you're talking about
is a nigga that walks in the room
desire to help anybody.
We ain't talking
He
about that.
wants all of the attention that he thinks comes with his
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we ain't talking about that, man.
We're not talking about
We
that.
talking about
what I'm trying to tell y'all.
We talking about like, okay, for instance, like, okay, we had a family cookout, right? we sitting around, you know, like my man may walk in, my cousin, you know what I mean, he doing well, he coming to join or whatever, his phone, what's up, man? Nah, I'm just busy, man, you know what I mean, I got stuff going. And I asked him, what you got going on, what's up? Oh man, blah, blah, blah. He telling me because I asked him. And like he's accomplished, he has some stuff. The conversation is going into multi-million-dollar ventures or whatever he's doing, right? Like he's not bragging, he's having a conversation. But it's gonna be somebody that hears that conversation, this nigga over here think he like that. You know what I mean? Like instead of like grasping to that conversation, it's gonna be somebody's gonna hate on that and gonna go tell everybody else he over there bragging, talking about this nigga like that, like why is it bad for us to have stuff?
So I'm gonna throw
like, why is that bad? Like it seems like for us as black people, it's a problem for us to be accomplished and be proud of being accomplished. Like we have to hide what we have. You know what I mean? I granted, damn niggas out here gonna hunt you.
I'm gonna throw another scenario at you, and this is on the flip side of what you're talking about. This is on the side of being accomplished, right? Mm-hmm. So, this is what happens on the side of being accomplished. If you're an accomplished party and you actually want to help, you actually want to get people out of struggle, you want to use your platform to help people establish what they're trying to establish, right? Mm-hmm. You're that guy or gal. What typically happens in that regard is you got a Malcolm X situation.
Yep, you're a threat.
You're a threat.
I agree.
They're afraid of you because
you're gonna pull others out.
Right.
I totally agree with you.
So now you get it from two sides of the fence.
Your own side.
You're getting it from your own side and the other side.
That's a whole headache. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Right.
But what y'all talking about is real because we terrible with each other.
So unfortunately, but this is the sad part.
I just like to be devil's advocate like that. So.
Oh, we here.
But unfortunately, because that's the narrative, a lot of people don't want to help because nobody wants that burden. Or
it's a big responsibility.
Right. Or a lot of people, like, you got to think, and me and Calvin go back and forth with this a lot. My mentality is, I don't put nothing on you that I'm not going to put on myself.
That's right.
So, in essence, we look at celebrities and public figures, and we hold them to a higher standard than we will hold ourselves.
Yep.
I'm not going to do that. If I'm going to look at Shaq and say he shouldn't have done woo-woo, I shouldn't have done it.
Right.
Just because he's Shaq and he got $100 million doesn't mean he should be the prototype of what we need to see. The prototype of what we need to see is within everyday people.
Oh, I agree.
But we haven't grasped this concept. What we continuously do is we look to the rich and want them to give back while we do no work.
Paul, I think
I agree
we're full
with you.
circle with accountability. We don't hold each other accountable.
Right.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Right.
We can bring this back to when we talk about relationships.
Right.
We also don't
You don't hold our brothers accountable. Right.
Right.
You are here cheating on your wife.
Right.
I don't say nothing to you.
Right.
That's not fair. That's not fair to you.
Right.
Right. I'm doing you a disservice as your friend.
Right.
For not pulling you up and saying, bro.
Exactly. What are you doing?
No, you sound like a good friend to me.
But in being accountable, you have to be secure in yourself that
When it comes to you,
when I'm telling you what I need to tell you, however you deal with it, I'm secure myself to handle it. So if I'm all of a sudden this bitch ass nigga, you don't want to fuck with me no more, boo boo, I'm secure in letting you step.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that the character trait we should have been given while we were younger? You know what I mean?
No, I think it's innate. Some people got it, some people don't.
I think my personal view from what I've seen, we were given this trait when we were younger. We've let the way society change our mindset.
A lot of shit is filtered and softened up.
Exactly.
Nobody not keeping it real no more.
We let, and bingo, as much as we want people to keep it 100, we don't keep it 100.
We can't have
Everybody's sensitive nowadays.
See, that like you said, that's sensitive, that's insecurity, and it's also not really fostering or not really believing in your relationship. Like if we're really friends, I can't get offended when you tell me something because I know you got my best interest at heart. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people just have friends around them that only tell them the good stuff, or only or only like encourage.
Coddling.
Right, coddling.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yes, man.
right. Yeah, yes, man. Bingo, there it is. We need some friends to say, young, you fucking up.
We
Y'all
see-
like, you know what I mean? We need them friends.
You see it on Facebook all the
It
time.
used to be like that back in the
We
day.
had them conversations
Hey,
before.
look,
We had them
how many jokers you know?
That's what we
If you disagree with everything,
Oh, man.
all of a sudden you delete it and block.
Wait,
You see what I be pumping? Right. I be putting stuff about Donald Trump all the time. And I got people in my inbox on, man, you gonna vote for this dude, you gonna vote for this dude? And I'm sitting there going, you really don't know me, do you? Right. But I'm gonna pump this, yeah, vote Donald Trump 2020. He's like, man, he's a Bama. I ain't gonna talk to you no more. Okay. Right. If that's how you feel. Like people cannot handle somebody not agreeing. Right.
But
That's where society is.
discourse and disagreement is how we learn. That's all about conversation. That's how you learn people.
But nobody wants to learn. Everybody wants to act on their emotions. They want to eat. They want to feed. Everybody wants to act on their emotions. But they don't want to put in the same work that you do to get to where you are. Or once you get to where you are, help you go beyond where you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's double back. Let's double back to why we're here. Since the ladies got their.
I want to know what Valentine's Day is. What? Y'all heard that? Valentine's? Y'all say that? Did y'all have a Valentine?
No.
What the hell is that?
Let me say, my daughter, the millennials, that's what they do. Yeah.
I seen 40-year-old women talking about Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day.
I don't understand now.
Y'all celebrating Valentine's Day right now.
Exactly. That's every day.
Oh, gal.
We're supporting. Because none of these women
No, bro. You know what it is, bro? It's women that are bitter about not having a man, so they're gonna make it celebrate. They're gonna make it about them. The same way you got some women that celebrate father. Let's go there. Let's go there. The same way you got some women that celebrate the father. Let's go.
Is that in the Urban Dictionary, Valentine's Day?
Let's go.
No, it might be now.
Urban Dictionary. Let's go.
It's definitely in the Urban Dictionary by now.
Why didn't you hear?
It's definitely in the Urban
Wikipedia got it too.
My daughter is literally at
No, look, like,
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
and she's 23.
the reason why I say it's bitter is because they're like Boots brought it up when we first started. Shout out to all the women that down talked all the love yesterday on Valentine's Day, that talked about I don't need no man, that and the third, that hated on Valentine's Day. That's bitterness. You ain't got a man, so you angry.
Say that again.
So now you mad at everybody else that's in love.
Say that again. Put it in the back.
That's bitterness, right? I'm not mad at all. I'm just saying, like, no. I mean, I have a problem with us, the male and female bashing back and forth about everything. I have a real legit problem with that. Because what happens is, you talk about men ain't nothing and men ain't this and men ain't that. What happens is it matriculates down to younger girls. Younger girls hear it. They never experience love. Younger men hear it. They never experience love. So they assume it's not real. They assume it can't happen. And now we got all these people that are just fucking, and nobody really wants to get their feelings and making babies, and nobody's really trying to become families. We don't believe in love existing any longer.
Say that again.
We're creating that. And I have a real problem with it. I see it on Facebook every day, and it pisses me off. I'm like, yo, like, just because you in a bad place, don't transfer that energy to everybody else. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Spread that to everybody else. I'm gonna blow that stuff. Huh?
Where they at?
Let me answer that. Who? Let me answer that.
You said where?
Women that will respond to a woman on Valentine's Day that they might be messing with, but they're not gonna like do the same things that you.
Let me ask that.
Like I dated a man who said to me, like literally, I don't do Valentine's Day. That's a man-made book. I'm like, what the hell?
You woke the extra woke.
No. That is actually.
I don't know if he was actually woke. He was scared.
Now, I don't know him. I don't know what his underlying agenda is with that, but that
He didn't go with a male figure.
But that is a factual statement.
Yeah.
But that is a factual
I mean,
statement.
there are some people.
Because if a dude is really into you like he should be, you got Valentine's. You get Valentine's every day. So
Not
just
just
because
Valentine's.
society says
on February 14th.
to do it.
On February 14th, I'm supposed to get you some big ass teddy bear, some flowers.
Okay.
Like, no.
Society say you gotta go get married and spend $1,000.
If I'm into you, I'm gonna do that just because it's Wednesday.
Okay, we got that. But do you penalize us on February 14th because you don't do Valentine's Day?
If I'm into you,
do you force us to conform?
Why is it a force?
Because society made it a force.
We have a question on how does society make it a force?
Because they deem Valentine's Day the day that we supposed to do blah blah blah. That's what made it a force.
Why do you expect something on that day?
It's not so much an expectation.
That's what you just said.
I'm sorry. I'm not expectation of.
Hold on, let her answer.
It's not an expectation of material. It's an expectation of acknowledgement.
But why do you?
Wait. So what do you expect him to do on February 14th that he ain't been doing 365?
Just say happy Valentine's Day and get a recall.
Yeah. Give me a value.
So again, you are conforming to what the parties that be made you believe you needed to do.
That's my lady.
You're already doing it. You're not going to force me to do it just because it's February 14th.
What about a car?
I disagree with him completely.
Okay, so being a mother, you expect Mother's Day to receive something, correct?
Yes, but there's
Wow.
so many of Mother's Day. I ain't got a job.
No, that's not what I'm asking you. I asked you on Mother's Day, are you expecting to get something on Mother's Day?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm a mother. And it's
Are you a mother 364 days?
Yes.
More than 360. So every day that your kids come to your house and say, hey, Mama, you know what? I just came past just to
And then
throw that to
women
you.
just don't do that.
But so what you're saying is, in correlation to Valentine's Day, it's the same thing.
Let me enlighten y'all.
No,
Are you done?
Actually, it is the same thing. It's acknowledgement.
Let me enlighten y'all.
I love you every day. Because you expect that I'm acknowledging you today. You're my mother every day.
I'm
Mother's Day, I'm acknowledging you.
As a man that cares about his
Valentine's Day, ladies acknowledge us too. Say that again, bro. Why are we arguing about this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what we're talking about.
Them too.
As a man that cares, see, this is the problem. Y'all don't look like you said. What was the word you used about 20 minutes ago? Surface. This is some surface bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why it's some surface bullshit. Y'all sitting over there calling this shit. You're going to get a dude. Listen. You're going to get a dude that's going to cater to you when you are in your emotional feeling. And you're going to fall for that nigga. And the other days of the year, you don't give a fuck about him.
Say that shit again.
Stop focusing on this man-made bullshit and focus on how he treats you every day.
I got a question.
That's not balance. One day out of 365 ain't balance.
But why did we have this?
Because man told you everywhere you need to spend some money.
Here's my thing. Yes, we all know. We all know.
Money.
But why is that a bad thing?
What don't cost money? You said acknowledgement. That don't cost money.
Oh, because we got to wrap up.
We're not
Start wrapping up.
We're not talking about love. We're not talking about it.
All right, one at a time.
You said no.
One at a time.
No.
One at a
You
time.
said acknowledgement on February 14th.
Right.
What doesn't cost money?
Love, words.
That's not love. I'm loving you today. You want acknowledgement on this specific day. What does not cost money?
Baby, I just want you to know, today of all days, I love you.
Wow.
I say that every day. I want to give.
All right, listen. My question is, we all know it's a man-made thing and all that, whatever.
So it's Christmas.
But why? So it's everything else, all that. But why? What's so bad about it, though?
Right.
What's so bad about it?
I literally just said what's so bad.
Because you spending money?
Because you're forcing me to do something one day that I'm doing all year.
So then why do you acknowledge your mother on Mother's
I wouldn't say
It's a man-made
I wouldn't say that we're forced.
The same
I would
reason.
say that it's marketed, and I'm gonna tell you, as a chef, I increased all my prices on those 2 days. I'm just
And you get it.
and I get.
You ain't gonna get that same price the
But
day
what's wrong with
That's my point.
But what's wrong with us as human beings having certain days and certain occasions throughout the year that we celebrate things?
Keep that same energy when Father's Day come and they try
But
to
they said that they about that. They said they about that.
He
They
goes
said
my
they about
house,
that.
he gets it, but every house. But I keep that.
They said they about it.
Y'all square 5, 6 right
Hey, look.
Give us enough opportunity to like.
Y'all can say,
No, they don't. I'm a chef, and I don't have no Father's Day special.
Valentine's Day is something that's
Hold on. Go ahead, sweet. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to know from you because you seem like Valentine's Day is a trigger for you, right?
no,
So do you see Valentine's Day as something as a mutual reciprocity, or are you feeling that it's something targeted for a man to do towards
it's
a
not marketed. It's not marketed as a mutual reciprocity. I don't want no fucking teddy bear.
Tell them what you want, bro.
No, you're missing my point. When you're looking at all these. No, I'm answering her question. Her question really what I want. You're looking at all these holidays. All of these holidays are marketed towards forcing you to spend money. So then, when you look deeper, you look at spend money on what? Valentine's Day is marketed to men spending money on women.
But I spend money on my man.
I don't care about you personally. We're generally talking Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, across the board in society, it is marketed towards men spending money on women. What you just said you do is an exception to.
What's wrong with that, though?
What's wrong with that is two things.
If you're with a man and I disagree, if you're with a man,
Show me one commercial. Show me one commercial.
So I'm gonna ask your question. I was gonna ask Boo's question. Like,
You're adding individual to the way society moves.
okay,
That's
now
different.
Go ahead, Ron.
You're
Go
the
ahead.
exception
Here's
to
the
the
question.
rule.
Go ahead, Ron. Go
Here's the
ahead.
question. If it's your relationship and y'all are one-on-one, why do we care about what society can do around? Why is it just like you talking to your woman? Yeah, seriously, why does it bother us that much?
Why?
Society don't run my household. Society don't tell me if I ain't got to take my wife out for dinner.
Society do run
I
your
can cook
household.
for her. Right?
Sometimes
I can buy her a car.
Hey, Ron,
That's
guess
what
what?
she wants.
What if your wife? We're not talking about your wife. We're talking about society's wife. For society's
Guess
wife
what?
says, I need to go here. I need to spend this money.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Society doesn't say you have to spend X amount of money.
Okay, I didn't say you have to spend X amount of money.
Something.
Right, that's what I said.
That shouldn't be a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing to spoil
Hey, Ron,
and
guess what?
treat the person
So
that's
it's Christmas.
careful.
Guess what?
There's nothing wrong with
So it's
that.
the birthday.
Guess what?
Who defines birthday?
Guess what?
Who defines birthday?
The day you was born defines that.
I mean, but
You're going the wrong direction.
who defines when to celebrate a birthday?
The day you was born defines that. You're going the wrong
Birthday,
direction.
you know why?
Guess what?
See, why
What I'm saying.
Guess what?
Who tells well, answer
Guess what?
Answer that question why. Why you only see black men have a problem with that?
why
First of all, that's not true.
Why?
That's not a black man thing. Men of all races and cultures
I don't know.
scarf at Valentine's Day.
But it's
Hell yeah.
it's only black men.
That's not true.
I'm speaking for myself.
How many white men you
No,
dated? How many white men you dated?
None.
Then you
Right,
can't
so
say
yeah,
that.
trust me. Trust me.
I have plenty of
Trust me.
friends.
It's not a black thing. Believe me. It's not.
Okay, but I only see black men have.
And honestly,
The
I
problem
don't think it's more of a black thing.
they have
than
been
a black man.
inundated by that particular or that breed of black women that expect this whole facade to unfold. It's never been instilled or even shown the opposite. So through their whole life, from the time that you was a little kid, you have been bred to go give mama the Valentine, go give all the little girls in the class Valentine. You do all of that stuff from the time that you're a little kid all the way up to you're adult. So now you're an adult. Here you're dealing with a specific type. I'm not like Paul said. You guys are the exception. Okay. Now you're dealing with this type who expect for you to lavish her on this one day.
Lavish? But you know what else too? That holiday.
Generally speaking, I don't think women want men.
But that holiday. That holiday.
It's a far cry from being.
I'm not sure this no more.
Yeah, but that holiday.
I'm not sure this shit no more.
You're right.
Here's the fact. You want to hear the fact? The fact is this. Y'all will hold your man in contempt for not acknowledging Valentine's Day and forget all the shit that he's
Sustained. I agree. That's true. Sustained.
He did not do what you wanted him to do.
Sustained.
And that is the problem when I say it's forced and you're programmed.
But it's also
that
only.
forcing is what makes you do that.
And it's also only in this country. If you go, anybody live outside this country?
That's true.
If you go to any other country outside the United States, Valentine's Day does not exist.
So I think I disagree with that though. Like I think it depends on your relationship, right?
But
Like,
no, I'm just saying this is the only country.
That's cool with me.
If you're going to shower your woman with all sorts of love throughout the 365 days of the year, cool, right? Like I don't know that I necessarily give a shit about Valentine's Day, right? Like I really don't. Because it is a man-made. But I love my birthday. That's real. Like, it's an acknowledgement of a day that I existed.
But see, you don't need no man to do that. You do that yourself, right?
Stop saying
That's not what I mean. What I mean is you want to
You petty as shit.
I never said that. The real men in my life who showered me understood me. So clearly you don't. Because you want to keep going with me. What I'm saying to that is, you want to keep going with it. What I'm saying is, like most men who knows me, he did. Most men who knows me knows that I'm a very loving woman. I will give you whatever it is that I have off my back. I don't care. I don't give a shit about Valentine's Day. These three women know me for like, they know me, right? They know that I'm going to give you everything that I have, to the point sometimes of to detriment, right? Where I am the one who's left holding the fucking bag. I'm a loyalist at a fucking fault. But I'm holding the fucking bag. Now, I don't necessarily believe in Valentine's Day, but at the same time, I do want to acknowledge that that's a day, just like I'm going to acknowledge that Christmas is a day.
Why?
I'm going to acknowledge, shut up. I'm going to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge that
Man told you
Thanksgiving is a day.
Jesus wasn't even born in the winter
I want to
time.
acknowledge. I'm going to acknowledge that Mother's Day is a day. I'm going to acknowledge Mother's Day is a day. Because that's just what we do.
Because you're programmed and you continue to being programmed.
But what's wrong with that? We
all
programmed to watch 22 motherfuckers bash each other head on the football field every Sunday.
That's fun.
We're also programmed to. We're programmed to do a lot of shit that we do. Right.
Y'all niggas was here on fucking, what is this, Super Bowl Sunday?
I don't spend any money to watch football.
Live.
So again, it's about money.
You got a cable bill?
I'm using that 365, not just every Sunday. So I'm not spending it. I'm not spending it specifically just to watch football. And to further your narrative, I can say I don't want to watch fucking football with the package I put. So it don't have nothing to do with that.
And watch something else, right? You're still paying the bill, right? It's a program that watch TV.
I'm not paying. He didn't say TV.
I mean, I'm saying, but what program?
He didn't say TV.
Program is program, right? It's what you do, right?
So, earlier, I don't know if they were all here, and we were talking about love languages and how you.
They were not here.
How
Yeah, they weren't here.
Oh, I love that.
About being selfless.
Correct. Oh, I love that.
And about.
Let's get back to that.
Go there. Go there. Go there. Go there. Go
I'll
there.
tell you what my love language is about doing what you can to
we hear from
please
your
the
friends you
other
talking about?
person. And it's reciprocal, right? She needs to be doing, everything to please you.
There's a difference between needs and wants.
Right, right. So if I tell you I want something on Valentine's Day, and it might not be anything lavish, it could be just a card and some roses. Or heck, it could be just you fixing breakfast, or just saying I love you. It really doesn't matter. But if I want acknowledgement, you wouldn't do that?
Yes, I would.
So what we talking
So you conforming to man-made syndrome?
Let me be clear in the difference for the peanut gallery. There is a huge difference. There's a huge difference between individualizing and pleasing my woman versus what society has deemed we should do.
But if you do it on Valentine's Day,
there's a huge difference. If my woman is programmed, I'm not going to sleep on the couch for a month because I want to deprogram her. It's different. But if I'm talking to y'all, I'm going to tell you the fact of what society is doing to me. It's a difference. Total difference.
I personally, I don't see anything wrong with. I talked about it earlier. I don't see anything wrong with celebrating Valentine's Day. I don't see anything wrong with any holiday, honestly, that you and your family, your loved ones want to acknowledge. And the whole argument that it's man-made or whatever, 90% of our society and things that we do were created by men and were created, all that type of stuff. So,
but it's not.
And I think, I'm not saying y'all, but I think a lot of men have an issue with Valentine's Day, whatever, because of the monetary aspect of going out spending money.
Nope.
Nope. Well, you kind of brought money up a minute ago.
No, what I said was everything costs money. We live in America in a capitalistic society. Even if I call myself being creative and I want to make a card instead of going to CVS and buy one, I have to buy the necessary.
Well, that's my point. And that's my point.
That's my point when I say everything costs money.
Well, that's my point, and that's why I say men, oftentimes when they have the issue with Valentine's Day, it comes down to a lot of times it comes down to they feel like they don't want to have to spend money on this holiday.
So can I ask
But it's also,
what's the problem with Valentine's Day? If women are saying like a
I don't even know what that is.
but apparently it's a group of girlfriends who just decide we don't necessarily, if we don't have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever, we just want to get together and just celebrate, then that's fine. I don't see that connected with bitterness. I see that
on a
actually
weekly basis.
letting dudes off the hook.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say it was bitterness. But I just didn't know what it was. I just did, and I never heard that until this year.
But we had never, I didn't get that.
okay, but what's the difference between that and you seeing Father's Day cards for women?
I mean,
Now that's wrong. Now that's just wrong. Now that's just wrong.
I believe in Father's Day.
That's just wrong.
Fathers that are present and there are fathers who are not. I'm not going to give a Father's Day card to a mother. Like that's not. I don't get into all of that. I don't get into the father passion and all of that. There's Mother's Day. If you're a mother and you do everything and you have a father that's not present, that's a whole other issue. But I don't use Father's Day as a day.
But he's right though. They definitely market Mother's Day because I don't have Father's Day special.
I was just about to say that.
When I cook, yeah, I'm being honest. I have Mother's Day.
This is why I keep saying.
I have Mother's Day. Everybody has Mother's Day brunch, Mother's Day.
This is why I keep saying you guys are the exception.
Yeah.
Because the reality, I'm saying facts. It's not a debate. You can Google this. He's a chef. He works at a restaurant. He just told you. He empty his fuck on Father's Day. He empty on Father's Day. On Mother's Day, he can raise his price.
Father's Day does get like that.
He just told you. So this isn't a debate. This is what it is.
I guess I'm not debating. I'm just saying, like, that's unfortunate because I would never want men to feel that they're less than because it's kind of like y'all are important too. So that's why I say on Valentine's Day, like yesterday when we went out, I paid for my husband and my family. Like I wanted to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
I told him I didn't want anything. I was surprised when I got home and there was stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like that's what I planned regardless.
Y'all better
And
cover that.
Father's Day, it's like every Father's Day I do something, make sure the girls do something big for him because I want to.
So where's women that think like you?
Right here.
Right here. I feel like we
do the same thing. I do the same thing. My daughter's father necessarily doesn't want anything, but I've made sure every year that she gave him something. That's right. He's Muslim, so he doesn't believe in all that stuff. Right. But he got something, from her based on me. And to this day, Lana says, "Daddy, what do you want?" Like right there, Lana. Like Lana would. I'm coming to your house right now because I want to spend that time with you because I instilled that value in her. Yeah. There is value in black men. Like I don't necessarily and I think they should be.
And I didn't grow up with my dad,
Me
but
neither.
I still now at my age, even with my kids and my husband, still send something to my dad for Father's Day. He's still my father. Right. You know
So here's the thing, right? So generally speaking, we're not talking about you all again. You all except. Typically, what happens is it's extremely rough for a black African American male. We were talking before you got here about us holding each other accountable. We've gotten to a point where we go back and forth with y'all instead of focusing on us. We are no good to you if we don't get ourselves together. So everything that goes on in our society right now, I'm a firm believer in there's a lot of truth in jokes.
I agree.
So a lot of things that we laugh and joke about is actually us trying to mask the pain. So when we joke about side chicks, when we joke about side dudes, when we joke about light skin and dark skin, like we laugh, but that's really a division that's been going on our entire lifetime and before we were even thought of. So what needs to happen is we have to get back to, like I said earlier, morals, ethics, and structure. Structure is gender specific.
I agree.
We're in a society now where a lot of women will infiltrate men's structure. Men don't infiltrate women's structure. So an example, like years ago, I think there was an issue with women, a little girl trying to be in the Boy Scouts.
Oh, yeah.
You got Girl Scouts. Why are you trying to be
And I disagree with that.
You see what I'm saying?
That's already happened.
But these are things that constantly keep happening, and it's destroying man. In the bigger scheme of things, if you destroy the man, you destroy the household.
But that's a biblical term too. You're right.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
But
Absolutely right.
what's happening is because we refuse to take care of ourselves, our women are starting to co-sign this bullshit.
Yeah.
So we got to get back to holding each other accountable, establishing that moral, ethical, and structure, and keeping your circle tight within that structure. Then women won't ask, where's the men that think like you? They'll get.
Right. And to piggyback on that, like we said earlier, as if women saw more real men, then things women wouldn't venture more into our territory and into our roles in the homes. Right. So the brothers, so instead of pointing fingers at the ladies, man, we need to point fingers at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like blaming women for why our boys are the way they are, and blaming women for why they can't rape, they spoiling our boys. No, nigga, you need to be a father, so we need to be more men to our boys.
Well, there's some situations now.
No,
there's some situations also.
But again,
there's some women that won't let him be a father.
Again, I'm not here to address the women. I'm talking about us because I can't fix them. I can only say we need to fix us. That's all I'm going with. I don't want to listen to the women.
So in
I think if we fix us, I think it'll trickle down. If we're supposed to be the heads, we need to be fixed first. Because if there's order and we're out of order, nothing is going to be chaos. So we have to get in order first.
I got a question for you. How can you fix someone who don't want to be led?
You gotta let them go.
You can't
Okay,
fix everybody.
but you already got into the situation, right?
Then the
You're in the
earlier you
situation.
say,
How can you change someone who won't be changed? You're already in a predicament where it's not.
Well, you know what?
It's like
You get that way.
And that's you got to work through that.
But it's
There's always a why.
But as a man, had you known what was going on beforehand, you would have left her alone.
Right, so there's a why.
See, as men,
Oh, one at a time.
I was going to say,
We're saying this is the therapist table. There is always a why.
It's always a why.
A why of how
To set something
a woman responds to a man.
A
It's
woman
a
responds
why.
how she wants to. We can't control your response, right?
No,
So
I'm
if- so-
asking that. I'm saying there's always a why.
Right.
Like dig deeper. What is?
If I don't know what her why was before I started dealing with her, and she just brings that out later on down the line.
stop right there.
I can't
Stop right there.
You can't do
Why-
nothing about
Stop
it.
right there. Why'd you even start dealing with her if you started
Because
dealing with her
everything
before?
is not coming
Say-
like
Well,
the
you
first
want
20
I don't
years.
know.
No,
But you
The first
True.
I mean, no, but
You know a lot of who people are
I
for
see
real.
who would not
All people
You never know.
I'm not disagreeing with
You
that.
never
What I'm
know
saying is,
how deeply rooted an issue is until you
actually hit it.
Or until you stir
When
it
it's
up.
surface, you only see the surface.
Until you stir it up.
Somebody surfacely selfish you can deal with. But somebody married 10 years selfish, I want to throw this bitch over the river. It's not the same. It's not the same.
right. The surface problem. The surface problem.
So now how do you move
If it's a root
forward? How
cause.
does Mr. Now how do you move forward with the
In
situation?
your discretion, how you feel you should move forward.
I'm a believer in protecting yourself and your peace. So, in saying that, you have to be comfortable with throwing in the towel sometimes.
And I
gotta be willing to
also
take it.
believe, and I believe that you can't fix nobody. You fix yourself and let them work on themselves.
Because here's
Y'all earlier was talking about y'all should go with people and peel back their legs and stuff. Now you saying,
Let's get to know somebody, man. Get to know them, bro.
yo, I don't know.
You took that
I don't know. I ain't in the game no more, so I don't know how it
Let me
works.
throw something out there because this is something that you guys brought up when we had walked in. You talk about how a lot of you came from homes that were broken, and so you didn't have examples. You had sisters, right? So it's kind of like I came from a home that my parents weren't together. So the same thing you guys are coming from and trying to figure out. You have to realize women are coming from and trying to figure it out
It's
as
different.
well. So how do you support? I'm not saying it's the same. I'm just saying that we have our stuff too based on the kind of
But
households
it's
we were
different.
brought up.
And here's
It's definitely different for a woman and a man.
The reason it's different.
I said that I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's
She's
not,
saying, well,
it's not in a
how do we help
competition.
the media?
You cannot come to.
I am an advocate for it.
It's 2 years
I am an advocate for it. And we all need that shit if you ask me.
As therapists,
Love it.
you all know you cannot come to a median until you discover the root issue. So in discovering the root issue, it's different. The household is designed to cater to you as a woman. The household is designed to cater to you as a little girl. You fall off the bike, oh,
Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? What's wrong? Stop putting your personal in this as a general conversation.
I'm always put my personal, but I'm just saying I don't agree.
You cannot put your
you're coming
you
from
cannot have
a man.
you don't know where I'm coming from because you assuming I'm doing what you're doing. I'm not putting my personal in this. This is a general conversation. I'm not putting my personal.
What you're setting it up to be is that it's automatically harder for
men from broken
Because it is. And if you would listen and give me an example of how it is, you can't tell me it's not. I'm a man. These are men. You can't tell us this. Again, it's structured to cater to you. If you fall off a bike, listen. If you fall off a bike, it's a picking you up, it's a catering to you, it's a coloring to you to make sure you're okay. If he fall off the bike, nigga, get your ass up. You alright?
That's what
It's different.
That's what my father told me.
It's different.
My father told me the very same.
Stop putting yourself in this. It's different. I am not. These are men.
Your peers are saying
You are trying. Am I saying something wrong? Am I saying anything wrong? Am I saying anything wrong? So when you say no, look, listen, because what you just did right now, you answered your own question and why we can't come to a median. You had men telling you that it's different with us being a man, and you don't want to listen.
I don't necessarily agree with that though, because
It's the truth.
No, I don't agree with that. But what I agree with what you're saying is that they tell a little girl to get up. They care about a woman's feelings more. Boys, we're trained to suppress our emotions.
Yeah.
Get up on the bike. You can't cry. Boys don't cry.
So what you're saying is
That's what we're trained to
How
do.
you don't agree with me? You just said what I said.
But that's not catering. That's not catering to a woman.
That is catering to a
That's feeding
woman.
her.
How you think she gonna translate that at 15?
That's feeding her emotions, bro.
That's catering to a woman.
Catering to.
It's feeding to her emotions, yes.
Okay, so
That's catering to a woman.
You gotta wrap it up.
I don't see it that way. But you can wrap it up. It's on you.
How do you cater to a woman without addressing her emotions?
You can't.
I don't see.
That's what it is.
You gotta know what you feel inside the
But that takes a man also that's willing to allow himself to be vulnerable and trusting that if I share me with her, that she's not going to use that against me. And vice versa.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you're asking where the medium is.
Okay,
That's
so-
your medium right there.
So-
it has to be a willing trust.
So I guess because I was a boy that was raised in a house that I was okay with being able to express.
All right, we gotta go
I don't
right now.
understand what you're talking about.
Okay,
Now,
that's
All right, we gotta wrap up like right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We gonna continue this conversation without y'all, so y'all ain't gonna see that part.
Unfortunately, our time is up. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate you.
Next time.
Next time, you can go on our YouTube.